Wait. Alright, that's enough waiting. I already posted everything I need. Hey, welcome back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another stream where I'm going to be playing because things are getting spicy. I am in court and I need to hide the goddamn interface right about now. I'm sorry, but I am truly a potato. I didn't mean anything but... Hello, everyone. Gonna play now. What a nice night. A nice peaceful night. And I'm like, playing a game called Ace Attorney, bro? Am I really an Ace Attorney? Yes, I am. I am an Ace Attorney. Right? I went through law school, I think. Yeah. Law school's the best, man. Don't you agree, man? Definitely, man. Hey. Unga bunga, baby. Because we're in court, the background just changes. That's sick. Lower down the volume. Continue, buddy. Alright, we're in episode 4. Who could that be? Who keeps texting me? Alright, here we are. I'm back. In courtroom since last night. I can't wait. I think I have class tomorrow. I have decided. I've considered the defense's counsel's request for a further summation examination of the jury. And I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second submission examination. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman? We are, my lord. Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you to now clearly and concisely for the court the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime. Right, summation examination once more, lads. We can always do this. The juror's contention. The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his. If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it? Dearie me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit. Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'd be in a tidy bit of trouble. To think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gives me the sneezes. Oh, is he one of the... I gotta ask then. I gotta press that man. Yes, considerably more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time around, it seems. With one notable exception, of course. Yeah, that's true. My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover... This man. No one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if their conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way. Fucking Santa Claus, man. That means I'm afraid that during this summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts. But how? What would even constitute a tangible explanation here? Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman and how? Those 2 details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted. And there I was thinking this might be hard. But Mr. Naruhodo, you have to do it. Otherwise, this really will be where the trial ends. Ugh, no pressure then. So, is it about contradicting them? That's quite enough, preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please. I presume you're prepared, counsel. Oh yes, my lord. Alright, Inosuke, focus your mind now. Slap, slap. Clap, clap, clap. Bolby. Clear the key to this summation examination. It's going to be juror number 4, the maid, or should I say, Mrs. Garrideb.
We have a book that disappeared from the Garrett Deb's house on the evening of this incident, and a fourth book found in the victim's hand.
There must be a way to link the two. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far, whatever it takes.
Don't forget to keep an eye on Miss Garrett Deb and how she reacts even to things when other people say.
Ooh, so it seems that we may be able to find something more. Hey, there's the couple right there behind. They're pretty cute though, I love them. Oh, they're not the killer. The accused left behind in evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his. Yeah, okay, that's his reasoning.
If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
Reconsider. Well, I can't find that one yet. Let me see the court record real quick. That's the way to go. It's badly burnt. For now, I have nothing for that, so I'm gonna skip that one.
Even if the one was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it?
Could be.
You and me's only little book, hardly life-threatening.
Yeah, she's looking away. You sound so suspicious, woman! But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not? I'm gonna take my keyboard closer now.
With flames of love, I'll have you know.
There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb. Nothing, right? I hear nothing at the moment. Well, I have my thing. So.
Well, he brought it upon himself. It's playing with fire to betray a fiery love, isn't it? Well, don't you agree?
Oh, well, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes. But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Miss Garrett. Right, my hair is getting in the way. Ah, fuck. There we go. Hopefully it won't fall down. Why is she slapping the man next to her? What the fuck? Are you okay, dude?
Never you mind that. The point is, we were just having a jovial little dispute, nothing more.
Is he okay, though? Why is she slapping him? That's my question.
I see any movie suggesting it was anything to do whatsoever with the crime.
Right, well, we'll see about that. But what about juror number 5? He doesn't seem to be turning a hair if Mr. Garrett relentless.
So he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is.
Look, I just want to get... Oh, no, fuck. I'm just gonna ask you, man. I really need to ask you, for real. Just want to get this over with. How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future's at stake here. Well, him and both for me, then. Like I said before. What? I told you already. I'm a day labourer, ain't I? If I don't bring home some readies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning. What? Yeah, mate. My missus isn't one to mess about. You know, she can be fierce, believe you me. Another shining example of marital bliss, then. A situation like this cropped up the other day and was, well, you know, it's funny, but I can't quite remember. Sorry. I was too frightened, that's the thing. I might have blocked it out. Helpful.
I wonder, Mr. Pitt, whether we looked into the Thames by scarf.
Don't you ever go there, Mr. Sato? There must be some way to jog his memory about this. Come to think of it, we had a fire at home. Hold it! I'd ask this man now. Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case?
Sorry, what? What's that? You don't have to speak up, lad.
I forgot his accent again. Could you tell me more about the fire?
It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It had 75 candles on top. It did. What a sight to behold it was.
You put candles on a cake? Was that some kind of devil worship?
Of course not. It was an angel cake. To celebrate my birthday, obviously. It seemed that a common custom here in Great Britain was to narrow how dough. Anyway, I mustered all my puff to blow him out. Only I must have blown it wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but the candles went flying all over the room. The furniture caught, everything went up. The whole place filled with smoke. What the fuck? Definitely, that's a fire hazard. It has nothing to do with the case then. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how did you catch a cold from a fire? What a fiasco it was. The grandchildren, bless them. They threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then, because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows to clear it. The windows? The biting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave, it did. I got a terrible cold from it. It put me in the hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry. I knew it was devil worship all along. But this old man's story playing on my mind for some reason. I'll remember that. It could be important. We need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Natsume, could have attacked the young woman on the street, as well as how he or she could have done it. Yes, but once again, the juror statements are full of personal prejudice. A lot of them seem to... I'm going to need to pit them against each other to force them to accept no alternative explanation. Yeah, I'm going to need to ask, I wonder if I can. I don't think I can pit anybody at the moment. Behind... Question about how the victim was stabbed. I might reconsider. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to the crime. So for now, I'm going to not pit, but I'm going to press.
Hold it!
There it is, there it is. Pursue. Excuse me. You're number 5. Is something troubling you? Aye, what's that now? Say it again. Go on. Well, I said something. Oh, can't do it? That's not how you do it. Okay. And what was that all about? Some way. Look, if there's something troubling me, it's where I'm gonna hit pennies tonight. Alright. Fucker, fuck you. Shut up. Okay, they didn't cost me any points though. Even with a direct hit. Well, she held a book. Definitely this book. But... How do I get to her? Is my question. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a second. I'm gonna pit you two together, man.
Objection! Hold it!
Hold it. Oh, that doesn't. But like, what? What do I do with their statement there? There is a contradiction. Wait, is it? Ah, fuck. There was nothing whimsical about it. Little book. Alright, I'm gonna question these two next. Evidence of the Saint Denis, 3 books of his. But as we know, there were 4 books, not 3. Well, what difference does it make? There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord. And that's the part I have a problem with. Just not. Sorry. The woman was stabbed. This landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said? That's not exactly how I put it, no. Well, the point is, his wife was somewhere else when it happened. Amen? Oh, okay, I think that's what he meant. I think That's what you call a strong alibi. Couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves to the Nipponese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what... This man is like... He's very tough. Let's see this cute lady, what she has to say. Some of alternative. Let's think about this one real quick. So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean? Oh my, such delight on your face, but I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you might think of me, I'm very modern, metropolitan, and a rational woman. Ah, that's great. If one reads the morning papers, it all forgotten by tea. What time is it? Read them in the first place. You see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say? No. As I see it, an overwhelming suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelming strong testimony. Despite one or two minor puzzlements, I do declare that man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking logic. Rational logic, wouldn't you say? Overwhelmingly. But us modern gals are always delight to embrace new fads, you know? So I'd be only too happy to consider an exciting new theory if you come up with one. An exciting new theory? The modern metropolitan young lady. Right, I'm glad you omitted rational there. Okay. Even though the woman's drawing books, it can't be related to the crime. The window was closed, can it? I've just questioned these three. Now one more. There might be a reaction against it. Another.
Hold it!
But what about the possibility that the window was open? What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have happened. How could you be so sure? The prosecution fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winter's in London, no joke. You don't want to invite sort of cold indoors. So no, the window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and stay warm, see? But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, can you? It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it. Then what's the point of having windows, huh? Counsel, you will kindly refrain from childish bickering. Oh, sorry. Somehow I need to... The window was open. Because this young man isn't going to budge otherwise. Darn. Nothing. Can I press again? Little book. Terms of love. Don't you agree? Well, any kind of a trial. Blah blah blah. When is Gentle Solius. I just want to get this over if I don't bring some home. I'm so confused. Our diet. Wait a minute. Oh! Actually, let's fucking pit this fucking fuck.
Objection!
Objection! I did it! I'm smart! These two juror statements clearly contradict one another.
They do? How exactly, counsel?
Don't point at me again! I told you it wasn't me!
What'd you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up.
Juror number 3, do you see? Oh, me? Say what, sir? Did you hear the juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course. It was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from all fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... Oh! Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garadab household. And Mr. Garadab had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke. Oh my heart! Pursue! Excuse me! Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that? I can't waste this opportunity, man. Mrs. Garadab! Oh, dear me! What's the meaning of this? How dare you imply I'm hiding who I really am? It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now. What is it? When the fire started in your house that day, did you or do you know your husband opened the window? What? I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating? Your room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window.
And what if we did? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering.
Even though your house was on fire.
Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise.
Of course I should have realized.
It's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You've managed to establish the window was open. But we simply must have added the Mr. Garrett final statement.
The window could have been open when the possibility was throwing books. Possibility. Okay, let's see what is this. See what she says. Now that you mention it, the window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten it's true. Okay. The window could have been open when the window was throwing books. I mean, it was definitely a possibility. The window could have been open. That's right, that's right. I'll fucking calculate that. Should I question them instead? Alright, I need to question them. Alright, let's press them.
Hold it!
Hold it, baby! At the point when the victim was attacked on Briar Road, we know there was a small house fire in the Garadeb household on the opposite side of the street.
Well, yeah, sure seemed that way. On account of the smoke, I imagine they would have had the windows wide open in spite of the cold.
We also know that Mrs. Garadeb was throwing flaming books at her husband. Her husband, who was backed into a corner by the window due to his wife's frenzied attack.
Yes, that's right. So there's definitely a chance that one of the books could have flown past the man and out the window.
Only what?
Only I can't really see how it could have gone all the way over on the side of the road, that's all. So I don't really see how I changed my decision. I can change my decision, really.
Oh, I see. That wasn't enough? What is it going to take to persuade these people? Dude, it's not enough. I know it's not enough. Even I can tell. I mentioned the window was open. I clearly forgotten, but it's true.
Hold it!
The fourth book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious sign of fire damage. And the title of the book, The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garadeb told us he had been reading.
Well, I really couldn't say.
On the day in question, did you or did you not throw the book at your husband? The copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading.
I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now you come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right.
Oh, why the hell? That's not necessary, man. Why did you not reveal this information to the court on the outset?
Because I couldn't, you insolent little man! I didn't remember! At times like that, you'd pick up and throw whatever you could lay your hands on, as well as you know.
I really don't.
I really noticed when I was throwing a book, much less the title.
Oh my god! What? Much less the title of it.
Excuse me!
Excuse me, my good man. What is that? What is it, jury number 5? You know something? I've remembered what it was. That memory I'd blocked... How does the voice go again? I was listening to this granny was saying, brought all flooding it back.
What are you calling her granny? You cheeky devil! I'm Mrs. Garadeb, the maid, I'll have you know.
The man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's used to being hit all the time. It was about 2 weeks ago. I just got back home after work, like. I put my hand in my pocket for the wages I just earned that day, and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out. Oh dear, what a disaster. You haven't heard half of it, boy. Huh? The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight, I've lost today's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear, stuck to the wall next to me, it did. How about an inch deep? Oh dear God. No words, just terror. I could smell it, you know. That god-awful stench of those flames. I was sure I was going to end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I could tell ya. Now, that's real disaster, isn't it? I'll never use the word lightly again. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, when women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, and you name it. Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined. I don't know, Mr. Sato. You threw me to the floor. No, I wasn't thinking that. Throwing household object at people is, well, it's so uncivilized. And let's attack with honor. Use a bow or the Yeah, I told you, Sato. I'm sorry. What attack? What are you going to attack? Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think. Alright, we'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare. What, you planning to marry me or something? Rachel said the kitchen knife really brought that home to me. Okay, changed a few things here. They cause massive destruction like an angry woman. Angry woman. The window could have been opened to the window possibility. If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider. Wait, let me get something real quick. What is this here? Okay, I need to write this down. There we go. Explanation about how the victim... I might reconsider. Woman rage hurl almost anything at you. A kitchen knife really brought that home to me. It could be. I'm gonna try it. Let's go pit it. Let's go pit those two, yeah? Oh no, I'm gonna ask this man first. Just in case, to be safe. Your wife really threw a kitchen knife at you. That's right, she was chopping meat with it. Had a tidy edge on it, believe me. Still, it's all memories, isn't it? It all started with that schmarf she threw me when she was courting. Since then, just the thing she's thrown at me has grown along with our relationship. There was a cup, then a glass, then a pot, and a kettle, and a chair, and a wardrobe, and a cooker, and a bathtub. Dang, scary man. I must have been even beefier than you. And things came to a head last week, and she threw at me right into the flames. Still, she's not bad when she comes down. Still a sweetheart, really. I'm so happy for you. If you want to know what I think the whole idea is ladies first, that we're so obsessed with this in this country, was started by some clever lads who'd been tossed into the flames a few too many times by their wives. True, that's scary. That's a very interesting theory. What a terrible thought. On the face of it, this juror statement sounds like really extreme and innocent. But I think it might turn out to be an extremely powerful weapon. It might be able to use to make the jurors accept an alternative explanation. Right, now. I think I can pit him with her. Yeah, I'm gonna pit her.
Objection!
Objection! Smart. Those two statements clearly a connection. Good grief, you mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, counsel, at once. Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative? There could be one. Oh my, whatever do you mean? An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back. What are you talking about? We've demonstrated that the 4th book, The Lion's Pride, that was found at the scene of the crime, originated in Mr. Garadeb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from Mr. Garadeb's household to the street below. I was that now? After all, Mr. Garadeb could have thrown any number of different objects, Mrs. Garadeb, that her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4? What are you insinuating now? You little beanpole? In the beginning, I think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she had a feeling this might be what happened. Now listen here, you UNGAAA. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer.
How are you the foreman?
You give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house. But what? What is it? I'm really taking a big gamble here. That's a bold accusation to make, but I haven't found any evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least this warrants further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object found its way out of Mr. Garradeb's scene of the crime was... I'm scared as fuck. Let's go! Juror number 4, Mrs. Garradeb. What now? I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before?
Good counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was launched into the victim's back, man.
My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garradeb were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garradeb was hurling anything she could at her husband, who had been backed up against the window. A window that had been open to clearly the smoke through which a book sailed and landed scene crime and of green. You can't seriously believe that. The book was found in the victim's grasp. Are you saying it flew out the window across the street to land neatly in her hand?
Huh. Even more mysteries hasn't got a name like that.
Yes, I admit, there aren't many details we don't yet understand. But that's the point, that's precisely why.
We must not allow this trial to end, not right now.
Oh my! Mrs. Garradeb, your answer please. Have you seen this knife before or not? That she died. I killed her. I killed the man. How ungentlemanly of me, but it was must.
My lord.
I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word after all. Thank you, madam. Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but... I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end with so many unanswered questions. Mr. Foreman!
I'd have to agree. Not that I think the grantor did it, mind.
Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either.
All together now, ladies and gents.
Brah! Let's fucking go, baby! The truth is not yet complete, buddy boy. We did it! Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruto!
So as a result of the defense summation examination, a number of jurors leaning have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided. And this trial will continue.
Yeah, the victim couldn't have had a knife. Where can he find a knife in all that room? Stupid. Oh, thanks, Santa Claus, man. I love you, Ben.
Now then, Lord Van Cheeks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
Staring at me, man. Scary like a zombie.
This trial is rapidly descending into a farce. Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant, it's good for nothing save the gutter.
If I may, Lord Van Zeeks, the defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened.
Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting that you must all familiarize yourself better with the relative positions of those places being discussed.
What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time?
It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Garradeb household runs Father Wide Street Briar Road, which means the distance from the Garradeb's house to the scene is some, 15 yards.
Man, I thought you guys are better than this.
They used to use yards.
Let me see, 15 yards. That's around 14 meters. 14 meters?
Well, that's a little farther than I imagined. 14 meters, that's like 7 doors. And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having portentous significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book, wantonly hurled at the lady of the house, traveled some 15 yards to the hand of the opposite road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. I think you're the uneducated one here, man. What if she was picking up the book while a knife was flying right into her beak? You make me sick with your... Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back? This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots. Ugh! What are the chances, man, this happens? There's nothing I can say to that.
That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice.
Yeah.
Mrs. Sato, serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he!
Maybe let's pick our battles here.
My lord, might I be allowed to speak?
As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense, yes? Go ahead.
The prosecution may consider the idea of fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end...
Is she crying?
Juror number 4, Miss Joanne Garradeb, must be called to testify and submit a cross-examination.
Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror! Dear God here. Order, order, order! Well, this is highly irregular. It's unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness's stand.
Objection!
This man's crazy. And unnecessary. Lord Van Zieks. There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony and the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's partial theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and jackknife must have been flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume they would be able to testify accordingly. What say you, witnesses? She's cute. Look at that, behind her husband. Her husband is like as cute as a nutcracker, actually.
Yes, sir. Constable Ronnie Bird is reporting for duty, sir.
Wait. Well, good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing off until now. Sir, I haven't slept for a month on account of the villains who's appeared on my beat, sir. Oh, they're so heroic, those London bobbies. Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more. Oh, Raleigh, my hero, you make me swoon.
Very well, I hereby reject the defense's request. Oh. In order the witnesses in the stand to testify again, state forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events.
Yes, sir.
Alright, let's see where this goes. They're so sparkly-eyed.
This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garradeb, believe me. A London bobby's good for his word. You see, sir, the windows on top of the floor of the Garradeb house are top-hinged casements. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. I didn't take my eyes off the crime for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
That's it. Well, this is quite startling. Top hinge casement windows. That details was not in the police report, Constable.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry about that. I must have had a little drowsy,
You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable.
No, sir.
I'm sorry, but
What exactly is a top hinge casement window?
And you cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend.
Of course. Sorry. I found it, Mr. Naruhodo. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. Lens.
Alright, I'll try. Oh!
So the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. But as the top hinge casement windows, it swings open along the upper edge, as you can see.
Ah. I'm glad you rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount.
It prevents its opening. That's all news to me. Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, it's a book or knife we would have been able to throw out the window.
Then
it would have been clattered against the pane and fallen straight down into the pavement below.
no. You see the problem then? Good. Education in Windows is complete. This was never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road. That is, unless the window pane had been shattered, something we've discounted already.
That can't
be!
Did you see that, Rolly? That young Japanese man just collapsed in agony. Oh yes, my darling, I saw it. I saw how you crumbled before me. Oh, Rolly, you're so strong.
How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, nor have my arguments been destroyed. Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination. My lord. Oh good, another desperate situation. Alright, let's take a look, man. Constable Beats report. Okay. Nothing to do with Mr. Investigator. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his own word. You see, sir, the windows top floor are top hinge casements. Obviously, if everything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go fetch it. Okay. Oh, I didn't take my after crime scene. No, so nothing strange to report. Okay. Let's go press them. How can you say that for certain? A very good question, sir. And the answer is in this. The noble founding principles, the force written, blah 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 blah. Sworn duty. He showed us that before, didn't he? Did he? Can't say remember. To patrol streets of London town, uphold the peace of the common man. That's what the job's all about. That's why I can't stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you Bobby's good for his word. What happened to your helmet, though? Rubbing my tired eyes, admittedly, sir. Oh, Rolly, you're so manly. Of course I am, my dear darling Patricia. Ah, poor Pat. Oh, Rolly. No, none of this is what I meant. Say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrigan. Oh, I see, sir. You should have said so earlier. Yes, well, so could you answer my question? Absolutely, sir. I will not follow responsibility, sir. The reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garrigan domestic dispute can't be related to the case. Before I get into that, sir, just one thing. I very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. To help you take back some tales of us London bobbies and how uphold our guiding principles. Okay. I've only just arrived here.
So to that end, I'm happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal. But I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears. Thank you. I'll try. Finally! Bish! I've been waiting for this, man! Ah, dear God, man. Now you gave me that fucking thing. Let me inspect the fucking thing now. Right. Here you are. Warrant card. A policeman's stripe. Huh? Huh? Oh, just regulations. Any crime for under the jurisdiction of a beat which I discovered. A crime is discovered on his beat with initial investigation and help detectives. That's the Metro Police, Principal of Policing. Okay. Is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat. Alright, whatever. Whatever. Let's keep pressing. You see, sir, the window's on top.
Hold it!
Alright, I need to know more about this. You can't escape from me, bruv. By which you mean they don't open fully, is that correct? Yes, sir. That's just a little bit of the house. You see, they restricted how much they can open. And therefore, anything under the window inside the room must strike the pane and fall straight below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map. Alright. Yes. There, here's the location where objects would have fallen. That's true. Yes. Directly opposite the scene of the crime. Wide road. Right. They could be related because it's definitely Mrs. Garadeb's knife. And the book in his book. Well, I have another question for you, Constable. And what would that be, sir? How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house is furnished with? That's a good question. Ah! Well, sir, that's very simple. You see, I helped with the investigation yesterday.
Excuse me!
Excuse me? What was that? Do you have something to add, Miss Biet? Sorry. You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that? Oh, I was just remembering. That's all. We really were so lucky. Lucky? What do you mean? Well, of course, I feel terrible for the poor woman who's attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky it didn't happen on Roddy's beat. Beat? What is that? It was so close, you see. I hadn't realized. Oh yes, the street by a road has the boundary between Roddy's beat and the next one. Is that right, my love? Oh, he's asleep again? What is this, man? Constable Biet. Oh, yes, that's right. That's the reason I was helping with our interviewing the occupants of Garadeb household yesterday. Their house is on my beat, you see, sir? That really was cutting it close then. Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garadeb household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well? Outside Mr. Garadeb's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on the side of the road is part of my beat. I see, I was unaware. Just think of the woman who had been attacked just on the other side of the bright road. We would never have been able to go for the meal. Celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a Bobby after all.
Extraordinary people are Bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners.
Do you know what I think? I think that the good Lord's way of rewarding my Roy for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling? That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it. I think perhaps we should make sure we have the information official on record. Leave it to me, Mr. Hodder. I'll take care of it immediately. Okay. The pavement where the victim found outside Constable's beat. What's a beat? I need to know. It's a noun. Beat in a noun, not as a verb. Noun. I need to know. I'm not British. Beat as a noun. That's the verb. Beat. I see. Street. How about street? I have no idea. The area of a town or city the police officer walks around. Ah, okay, that's a beat. All right. Now it's my turn, I think. If the thing had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. Let me check out this new thing, yeah? Try to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. Okay. Around his beat every day for furtherance of community relations. Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat. Okay. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist. Okay. So that's why. Alright, but according to my notes here, the sun had gone down and it was dark. Oh, but Roy and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky and looking for a lucky star. Sorry? A star that will guide us to eternal happiness. Can it guide you to answer the question? If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star. And if it had been a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Raleigh be an inspector, I would have said 3 times at least. Of course, what with that smog over and everything. Alright. That's weird though. Book nor a knife crossed the sky before you. Yes, sir, that's correct, sir. Then why is it in her hand in the first place? That's something that the prosecution did not take into account. Mr. Reaper of the Bailey. They're telling the truth. You saw the poor woman fall to the ground. To help her. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help. See, to go and fetch help, but my trusty Raleigh was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. Nothing was disturbed. Alright, let's question this. Yes, you said that you went on a nearby police box to fetch another officer. Is that right? That's right. If it had been on Raleigh's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going. Huh? Just outside, okay. I'm going back and forth with this one. Jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. Kind of weird. At least Peter wouldn't know exactly where I was going, of course. Don't feel bad, my love. You can't expect to know the location of every police box on every beat. So he told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way. Sure, my darling, that's why I love you. You terribly sense of direction, bewitching to me. Oh, really? Okay, shut up! So I suppose... About 15 minutes, like I said. The whole time. I was off duty at the time, of course, but Mr. Bobby is never really off duty, sir. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front.
Hold it!
Nothing to report. That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open. I was approached the scene and I had nothing removed from it. So that yard, sir. Really? Then that seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir? Strange, sir. Seems altogether regular to me. This blunt copy of the lion's pride was originally in the Gardeps household. So the question remains, how did you find its way in the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? Aha! Could it be a different copy, or the one that just happened to be burnt as well? Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene. Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. Ended up in her bag. Two mysteries, how the knife in her bag, and how the book ended up in her hand. Yeah, that's the one I need to find out. It's very related. It's a common thread between them. Can I ask you something, please, Mr. Lawyer, sir? Oh, wait, Simon. Oh yes, of course, what is it? You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell. It's not about doubting you. I didn't doubt you from the second. But I'm only looking for answers. That's it. But I wasn't really. I mean, what is she doing? Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make any testimony any less valuable. Why? You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am. I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you. No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you will let me speak, won't you?
Yes, Mr. Beard. I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes the path of the least resistance is the sage one.
That was a very loud mutter. I heard that. That Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife word what counts for nothing, does he? But watch out. I might let you get away with something like that, but not my Rolly.
Zip, zip.
Duly noted, Miss Beard. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. What could possibly be about to say, I wonder? So what's this new thing? I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction will sometimes die. Right here. It's not his beat. Victim was found. Large comment. I'm gonna press it. Miss Beard, nobody's questioning what you've just told us. I saw it. I did it that evening. So next day I saw it. That little Eastern man with whiskers and funny curved back slinking away from the scene. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knife flying through the sky. All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction. Oh yes, well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I was ending up in the wrong place when I made arrangements with Big Rolly. What? He gets ever close, so cross.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, mister. Constable, be it. Is there a problem? Oh, no, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark now just bring you something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening as all.
Hmm? You mean Mr. Biet lost the way on the night of the incident?
Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over for mine. But she was gone a bit longer than I was expecting. I thought she'd been back in 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Oh, Rolly, you're such a tease. But the reason I was so long because of the bouquet, silly.
The bouquet? Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about?
Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly is so romantic. They saved up for it with 4 things and
I don't know what they say. Fuck it.
found in the gutter while doing his prunes.
Yes, how romantic.
I'd forgotten all about it until now. Had you, my darling? Oh, yes. But that was just between us. Not talking about anyone, darling. You have to promise. Really? Oh.
What's that all about? Constable B looked very obviously troubled during the exchange.
But I can't offer any feelings, right, sir. But I'm quite sure one thing. We have to ask Mr. Biet about the bouquet.
Mr. Biet, that is bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like to have the details about your testimony, please.
Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to.
The thing is, noticing something. For a while.
Hold it!
You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime?
Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. You ran over inside with a woman with a knife in her back.
What? When we ran over and saw it, was a woman with a knife in her back. So shall I drop the bouquet roll you gave me? It was a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light. Didn't notice it first. And then we went to the police box to report it. Policeman was on. Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the constable. That's when I spotted my bouquet again. But the funny thing is, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all. To remind you, Mrs. Beard, the victim is not deceased. I was all flustered for a moment. A voice called me from the other side of the road. Your husband, presumably. That's right, silly me, I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although I'm going to blame the bouquet this time, I can't think of how it got there. One side of Briar Road to the opposite. Oh! Curious indeed. Isn't it? But the worst of it is I forgot to pick the bouquet up. And when we left the scene, the beautiful rose Rolly bought me, changed from the gutter, had spent so long collecting. What is this? By bouquet, do you perhaps mean this sorry solitary rose? Oh. That bouquet Rolly bought me for our anniversary with all bits and get a gutter. I'm done voicing for now. I'll voice only men from now on. Maybe just because it's a rose. Tell us, Lord Van Geeks, where did you come by the flower? According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found at the edge of the pavement in front of the Garrett Dip household. It wasn't noticed until morning as it lay where the street lamp cast no light. No relevance to the case since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Could have been. I knew it! Alright, now the pieces are coming together. I think maybe this will be added to the court ready as evidence. Oh, anniversary bouquet. But it's a symbol of our love. It's evidence now. There's thorns usually on these things. Very stylish paper flower wrapped in, isn't it? It's just an old newspaper, Mr. Naruhodo. I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It's so exotic to me. I see. Something wrong? I think that if you wrapped up stone-baked sweet potato in English newspaper, some sort of fancy cake. Sato-san, you do love your cakes. Nothing out of the ordinary, though. An English rose. It's such a beautiful flower. This is a rose, is it? Seen one before. Do you not take an interest in flowers, Mr. Naruhodo? I wouldn't say that exactly. I don't know 3 types at least. Gosh, 3? Yes, plum blossom, peach blossom, and cherry blossom. Perhaps you should consider branching out, learning some that aren't fruit tree based, for example. No, nothing. So far, nothing. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. I'll take note of that. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back. Good grief, rest assured I shall do my best not to forget Mr. Beard. Oh man, Santa Claus. Can't believe it. For one more, nothing strange to report. Losing her way for a while. Now I'm confused as fuck. Alright.
Hold it!
Nothing to report. Strange. Beg your pardon, sir. What do you make of all this? Yes. Visible attacker has been troubling for a long, but I believe I'm trying to get a picture of what's really happened here now. Are you sure that Mrs. Garrett was hiding something from us? Clear that someone else has been hiding some. We would have seen it.
Hold it!
My bouquet. She dropped the bouquet. I am confused. Oh man, my brain. Something about this rose though. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I want to really read again what she said about this one.
Hold it!
Drop the bouquet to scene of the crime. Yes, that's right. There was a knife in the back. Notice it first, and then... Something must have happened here. Represent the rose here.
Objection!
Yeah, I'm gonna present there. It's not really an objection, but you know. You claim, Constable Beat, that there was nothing to report in around 15 minutes or minutes when you got on the scene. But that cannot be. What do you mean to say? In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime, with the policeman assigned to the beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby. Yes, on the opposite side of the Briar Road, to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of this mega bouquet, even a single sorry blossom can be so described. No doubt it was blown across by the wind, back into the gutter where it belongs. Eager? But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact, that there would be winds, right? No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore that on Scotland Yard's honor. If the bouquet belonged to me, it has nothing to do with the case. That's why they mentioned it, I'm sure. No, because sadly it's not your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way around. What are you talking about? Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garradeb's book. Mr. Garradeb's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out of the window by his wife, would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road, in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street. But in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road, in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garradeb's house. There's no logical explanation for those things, unless somebody deliberately moved them. What are you trying to say? The way you're talking sounds like you think Raleigh's done something wrong. Don't you listen to a word that scrawny lawyer says. Wittering about books and bouquets, what should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is. Oh good, Mr. Garradeb comes around. Yep, she's trying to find ways to direct it away. You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garradeb. But deliberately meddling with the scene of a crime is a criminal offense. It's called, tampering, Mr. Naruhodo. But the persons responsible for tampering cannot admit to it, for a very subtle but compelling reason. Tampering? You've barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend, what could possibly have had cause to carry out such an elaborate deception? Yes, there's someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. Although it points to one particular person. Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. This is a bold accusation. I'm gonna present him first. Because it's him. Obviously, there's only one person it could have been. Constable Raleigh Bit, it was you! What, a policeman? A number of Scotland Yard? What nonsense, why would my Raleigh do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband. No Bobby works more tirelessly for the people of London. Mr. Beard, Mrs. Beard. You said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with. You're making it up, it's all nonsense, all lies! What about that Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him who did it. If that was true, Constable Beetle would have seen him do it. Oh! And forgive me for pointing out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Miss Pitt, it was after the defendant had fled the scene. Well...
Objection!
First, you make accusation about the landlord and his wife. Now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusation lacked one very important thing. Evidence. Your claim to the crimes was tampered with. But there was only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime. To hide something.
That's right, he's right. But my husband and I just happened to be there. That's all. So why would we have anything to hide? Does it make sense?
You've offered no motive for an alleged tampering. Until you do, your accusations are nothing more but empty threats. Constable Pete has a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the criminal's crime. That's the key to the entire affair.
Have you managed to solve this mystery?
That's the one last thing. You need to put the pieces together. Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not to point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive for this alleged tampering. Yes, my lord. Oh, God. Constable Pete's motive for tampering with the crime is to... Definitely just the victim. Where the victim fell. Where the victim fell to the ground. This is what the Bobby had to cover up. At all costs. What?
Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you to just out, didn't we? On the paper of Brian Road, we saw it happen, remember? It was right here if anyone didn't already know.
That's certainly what everybody has been led to believe. But in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all.
What? What?
I'm beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trial will end, Counsel. If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know my Nipponese friend. Or are you proposing that the crime actually took place that evening?
Take that!
There, opposite it. But that's on the opposite side of the road.
I don't understand.
On the evening in question, Mr. Garrett's book fell directly down from the open-up window above. But your bouquet, Mr. Bet, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself! Good God gracious!
Objection!
Objection! Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place.
Yes, that's right, I saw it with my own eyes.
It was 5 o'clock in the evening and it's already dark. There was a typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Briar Road.
No, that's not true, it can't have been.
Constable Pete then arranged for you to have been absent for a while by sending you for help. But during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved the things shown in this print. The victim herself, the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road. Extraordinary, really. But the constable overlooked one thing.
What? What did he overlook?
The bouquet, I presume. Exactly.
The prosecution told to the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Van Jig said it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light.
Yes, it couldn't be dark, obviously. Which is why it was the only bouquet that was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond? Constable Raleigh Beat. I don't know how to pronounce it. Beat? Beat? Beat?
Well, I'm very sorry.
I think it's just beat, actually, so yeah, whatever. I'm very sorry, okay? I didn't mean to nut off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, Rolly, it isn't true, is it? What a lawyer said is all lies, isn't it? I know it is because you're the most upstanding righteous man I know. I had a dream, a terrible dream. All the things I did that night, everything come out, everything exposed. Only it seems it wasn't a dream at all. Good golly. This is madness. What is this? Order. What on earth is the meaning of all this? Oh, Rolly, why? Why would you use something like this? Moving your corpses is a criminal offense, isn't it? Wishing the victim dead should be one, too. Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? Respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good of the people of the town, London town. I can't say, sir. What? I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging this yard's reputation. For everything. What's happening? I have a possible explanation. For why on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can't think of one reason. What? How could you possibly know? You're a foreigner presuming to understand the mind of Scotland Yard policemen. Shut the fuck up, man! And yet, Lord Vanshik it is this foreigner who has uncovered the solemn truth of the matter thus far. Ah, my hair is in the way. Ah, there we go. I should get the beanie. Or, yeah, the beanie would do. Should I get the beanie? Alright, you know what? Be right back. I'm gonna get my beanie real quick. Alright, the beanie's on me. It's not noise cancelling anymore. Let me try to fix that somehow. I should remove this. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Sorry, young lawyer's theory. Counsel for the defense, if you please. Yes, my lord. Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence. At once, my lord. England, Japan, it makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions. What gives away the motive for Constable Beat's unthinkable actions? Drop the rose where she stood. Could that really be the place, is my question. Huh. I should save here. I am not confident. Not really confident here. Because anything related to those two is either one of these. It's definitely not this. I'll put this here.
Take that!
I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land, and I've only just arrived from Japan. Which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that through the Honourable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example. Keeping the peace, looking after the citizens on his beat is in all kinds of ways. There is no doubt that the young Bobby is charged with a great deal to catch, to do each day, certainly. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? How? On account of this bouquet, my lord.
Oh, yes. It was our very first wedding anniversary.
Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal. When he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon the crime Broyle Road, when he saw the shadowy figure through the fog collapse the pavement ahead of them, what must have gone through the man's mind?
But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat put up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. I want to show my dear wife how much I care.
Ah, dude. It was wrong. He wanted to give it to the other policeman. This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to send me earlier. Indeed, among the roof's patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigation and help detectives. Oh, Constable Beat. Is that or is that not the reason why you moved the whole scene of the crime that day?
Yes. Everything you said, it's all right.
So that's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat.
Oh.
Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred when a Constable Beat. Good gracious. Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you have done?
It was the first time since I became a copper that I've ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could still be lurking somewhere. As we ran over for the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. I've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible. But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, where the victim was lying, and what that meant for me. What a crime is discovered on his beat. A policeman must assist with initial investigation and help detectives. Why here? Why did this have to happen? And why tonight of all nights? Why?
The man did it for love. I'm clipping this, man. I'm clipping this. I should write it just for fun. Yeah. Around that time.
It's copper's job to see a crime scene. I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever was on duty there. It was then when I opened my mouth to speak. It just came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my mouth. This is the next beat. This is the beat. This is the next beat to mine, Pat. You have to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Meerschaum Street and then...
So he did it. The scene of the crimes changed, and new possibilities have started. Dear God.
I'm sorry.
I believe he won't be stripped. He will be suspended at least. Hope you reflect on your actions, Rolly.
I'm so sorry. Oh, Constable. I just wanted, just that one night, to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, Rolly. Just that one night.
You knew that if the incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined, and so you decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction, just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care.
You see, I thought... Well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, of course he did! Otherwise, my Rolly would have left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement.
I see your meaning now.
But God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat.
Hi, I'm back from the cinema. Oh, welcome back from the cinema. Or should I say that? I don't know how to say that. Welcome, Andy. What did you watch anyways? Spider-Man? Transformers?
Oh no, Rolly, that was all my fault. I should have never dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly.
Can you tell us, Constable? Conan. Oh, you watch Conan? Only in Asia. Dang, I don't think I've ever watched Conan. Dude, it's just spicing up. I'm like feeling in my heart right now. I feel for these two. How many books did you move from the one side of the road to the other in total?
4 it was. Yes, sir. Definitely. 4. 3 of them were dropped by Mr. Nutsuma, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Garrett household, of course.
But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? When all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean.
Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it.
How you found it? What do you mean?
When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So, when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand.
You sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding?
Oh, yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir.
Interesting. Yep, updated. So let's see what it says now. The lion was a victim when the beat ran over first. Yep, that's interesting. That's interesting, actually.
I thought it was an open and shut case at the time. See, there were these 2 people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happened. However, which way you look at it, it had to be fellow who had run off. Who'd done it, I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving at all over the road will make a jot of difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it.
Oh, everyone's feeling for him. Dude, you'll be clipped, bro. I'm gonna clip you. Just for me, bro. I feel you, buddy. My lord. Yes, Lord Van Zieks. I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Huh? Constable, you may withdraw. I think you're smart. I think that's the right thing to do, actually.
Yes, sir. Mr. Prosecution, sir. What become of my Rolly? What will happen to him?
I would say just suspension. But now you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course.
Please, don't punish my husband. This was all my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired.
Dude. I really can't. I just feel for them.
Alright then, my love.
One last thing, Constable. Oh, something happened, right? He moved the body. Apparently, he moved the body of the victim to a different street, to across the road, because that's a different beat, where policemen would investigate. It would, move around, do their rotations. So that's the sad part, that he did that because he wanted to to not ruin their anniversary. Because if he did, according to this here,
according to this book here, the police regulations, blah blah blah. Any crimes fall under jurisdiction, blah. When a crime is discovered on his beat, which is his beat at the time, must assist with initial investigation. So that means their anniversary would be ruined. So he did it all of that and blah blah blah. So like, and they made it dramatically, like pulls into my heart. So it was nice. Get the gun, execute this pal. No, sir. Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you. Yes, sir. I assure you, I think he's just gonna be suspended. It's not a heavy thing, but it's still pretty heavy. Carve that lesson in your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of the crime. So I think Mr. Van Dijk would see the whole thing now. Oh, never again, sir. You mean say? He's forgiven, I guess. Leave now, the trial is not yet over. Sir! Dude, enjoy your anniversary, man. I don't care if you did something wrong. You did it for your love. It was something forbidden. It's now forbidden love. Well, quite a startling revelation, I must say. Whoever thought of a third party transplanting the entire crime of a scene like that? Indeed, my lord, nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here, principally. Imagine this guy in France, his head will be gone. Is it though? In this time, I do believe France was like, put love at the highest priority. Like, for example, if a man is murdered for, what's it called? For taking a man's wife out for dinner or something, or a wife murdering someone because, yeah, you know, you get the idea, right? I hope it makes sense. But yeah, if cheating happens and some guy died, yeah, bye head. Yep, the guy who did the cheat is fine. He's fine, really. He'll just be sent to jail, but then out for a bit because they put love at high priority at the time. But for now, I don't know. That was a story. That was something I heard or read back in the day. That the accused, Mr. Sakinatsume, is the only person capable of committing this crime. Objection! Everything now falls into place. No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back. Forgive me for being a presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already. Lord Van Dijk, is this true? He's asserting his fact. Very well. Name the person if you will. Any further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. We will name this other person who could have perpetrated the crime. There we go.
Take that!
Okay, this is awkward. The defense would once again like to request a cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again, my assistant made the same request earlier. In order for the finally reveal the truth about this case, it's imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Mr. Johan Garrett. Me? What do you mean? Why is he objecting now? That request has already been denied. Objection. The situation is very different now. Mrs. Garrideb, answer me this. What do you want, you little toad? At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. Garrideb, John Garrideb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited, and to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looked out over Briar Road. Well, what of it? You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Super hot tea made, I know, right? But it seems that this may happen. Upon striking the pane of the open top hinge casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we know to be the true scene of this incident. Yes, and as I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garrett. This knife, the one you removed from the victim's back. Have you really never laid eyes on it before? Ah! I don't recall it. Oh, that's easy to say. Wait, what did I miss here? There's a message retracted. Now I have to get to the bottom of this. Seriously? Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there and all that regalia said members of the jury did need to testify. Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
No, I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4. Huh?
Oh!
Makes no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to judicial process. Let's execute Mr. Natsume. Nah, man. He's a good guy. If he didn't exist, we wouldn't learn all the basic Japanese we know all today. We need to learn all the basic Japanese, bro. He's responsible. Like, it's a canon event that he shouldn't be executed, bro. If you know something about this knife, madam, let the truth come out.
But that's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one is missing, we want...
Oh shit, you just said it!
How would you expect me to know? What's that?
Are you joking? What are you saying, please, Mr. Garrideb? Mrs. Garrideb. Perfect canon event.
Now listen to me. I refuse to believe all this is nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it.
No, this is not murder. It could be attempted murder. But because the person is still alive and is present, it's up to that woman to press charges or not. I mean, you could get money.
Oh, the poor woman. So, yes, I want evidence. I want to see the evidence if you're insisting. You're going to insist that this being my fault. You're going to have to prove that I threw that knife, if that's what you think. Come along now. Chop, chop. Do your worst.
Well, I don't think I have any evidence.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
If I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already. Then take the stand, juror.
Oh.
He's there for the truth. The prosecution does not object to defense's request to cross-examine this woman. Thank you, Lord Van Zeeks.
I'm going to have to testify.
It's getting spicier and spicier by the minute. As I'm sure you will appreciate having observed it with your own eyes today. Witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths behind unearthed. Truth of the witness themselves may not even have been aware.
Oh, dearie me!
So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garrideb. The bomb in my backpack. I don't think so. Oh no! Oh, put it down. Put the button down, dude. Nobody has to get hurt. Mark my words, in this court of law today we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? We both want the truth at this point. Certainly, my lord. Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord. Kill assist. Nani? Kill assist. Nobody has to get hurt at this point. But it was not. This is only attempted, third-degree murder. For the first time since I'm in this country, it actually feels real. I'm here in the Old Bailey, and I'm the lawyer. She's there. Witness, state your name and occupation.
Oh, yes, my name is Joanne Garrideb. I'm, I'm a juror and such like.
Sounds like even she doesn't know if she's an housewife or maid or what anymore. The court has decided your testimony is required to clarify matters this case. Wait, I wonder if I have a text from my vocal coach.
Alright, I'm going to have a class tomorrow. Alright, it's good to know.
The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madam?
Oh shit, I should have fed my fish. The lights are off. In a bit then.
Yes, my lord. You will tell the court that took place in your household on that evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth.
Oh dear me. Chin up, Joannie. Nothing to worry about.
Cheer up, Joannie. Nothing to worry about now.
He's here for her! Oh, I didn't know you were here, John.
He'll take it upon himself, huh? Wasn't it only you in the room that day, old thing? Was it? I think I ought to testify as well, don't you?
But what about your knee, dear?
Dude!
My heart is melting this whole chapter.
Don't you worry about that, hardly notice it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone.
Oh, John.
I presume you are Mr. John Garrideb. Yes, sir, former second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland... Fuck! Fusiliers, sir. Seen my fair share of action and now living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life? Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question? Ah, well, yes, quite. I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You'll recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Sir, at once. Okay. You can do this, Potato. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Dr. Candlestick over, set the fire to the carpet, set it out. Though, got the window open. I forgot his voice.
Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could to throw at him.
Plenty of knives around your place. Can't say I noticed if 1 or 2 went missing, I'm afraid. If that bolly thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think. Sounds as though it's quite the battlefield in your household that evening.
John, will you press the button and execute these lawyers? No. What's with you and executing tonight? Is something in Detective Conan that I should know, Mr. or Mrs. ND? Is there something that I must know from Detective Conan? Did you watch?
Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. Jimmy caught us on the hop. Had no choice to dig in and take the defensive measures.
You're asking to execute these lawyers. What happened in Detective Conan? You just come back from the cinema, right?
Of course, a veteran such as myself. There's only 2 aware on the battlefield. You're just a gaunt whisker from death at any moment.
Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here?
Well, I must say I'm dubious to find that this testimony will shed any light on the origin of Jack's knife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that surrounding barely noticed.
I don't think it's a garden knife though. Yes. Dang. Care to share? What happened in Detective Conan with all of executions and bombs? Sounds pretty interesting. I might watch it myself actually if you like. Do you say so, something?
These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end.
One that seeks may well be right. Well, whatever the chances, you only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, I'm afraid so. It's the last cross-examination. Very well, counsel. Begin your cross-examination.
Thank you, Santa Claus. The Battle of Garrideb. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. I remember the reason. knocked the candlestick over and set the house on fire. It soon had it out, though the window was open. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could to throw at him. Yeah. Plenty of knives around at our place. Can't say I noticed if one or two went missing, I'm afraid. The only thing that went to him was back. Vows, you'll have a job proving it, I think. Alright, let's start.
Hold it!
Let's question, the reason is that what you call this rest, I believe. Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly. Yes, the book, wasn't it? It's all started with a note. It's tucked in pages of a book belonging to Mr. Garrett. A rather passionate note, in fact. Mr. Garrett found the note, discovering her husband's little secret. And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too. What a sordid state of affairs. Hell on earth. I say, when a chap says he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it all up. Short story, the racist black guy tried to destroy the Interpol base using a submarine, but couldn't stop it and destroy the submarine. What? Eh? Eh? Scratching my head, man. I may or may not watch this show anymore, but who knows? If I don't see what you said here, then mark my words, you're going to the gallows tonight. And besides, half of it was a word of the mark. Anyway, his face is clean now. I'm getting hungry. Alright, stop at 2 hours 30 minutes. That should be right. Midnight 30. But I'm planning to complete it since it's very close. I like this story. These waters run very deep. The transparent X after these multiple blows to face. Knock the candlestick, set a fire.
Hold it!
And the fire also spread some items on the furniture, didn't it? The bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine really. Just happens to have some bathwater around in the evening, so I slush it up, put it out. Okay, the most precautious situation you put yourself in. Ours is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street where the water main isn't connected yet. Have to draw water from a public water pump during the day if you need any, you see. The lodgers are always moaning that they can't get any water at night. Although, that little mustache Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. The defendant, Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, he received a stipend for his studies. You know, I would call it an allowance than a stipend, but I guess I couldn't call it a stipend from now on. Heh, stipend. Oh, has my stipend come yet? I'm British. Oh, cheerio from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? He'll be very well off. Have you actually seen the state of that man? I believe he uses all his income to buy books. Well, anyway, the point is I was able to douse fire with water, fortunately enough. Okay. Meanwhile, I was picking at whatever I can find of water. Even though the room was on fire. As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. Just like my mum when she was younger, really. Execution time. Not yet. It's close. Not yet. That is most certainly not true of Susato take down Miss Naruto. How did you know I was thinking that? So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Well, was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. Men would see it differently, women. I remember my mom.
Jupiter!
Let me see, some bread, cabbage, garlic, a sponge, and a nut. Okay, let's see what
Excuse
else.
me.
What's the scariest thing you saw that time, Mr. Garrett? Mr. Natsume, Mr. Naruhodo. Do you have anything to add, sir? Mr. Garrett. Hey, don't shoot. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Did your wife remark just now bring something to mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just that a barrage of projectiles, the old thing launched in my... was somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and the fire poker. I seem to recall... Ouch. And the woman... No, oh, the super hot tea time. There we go. Good grief, woman. We're not at home now. This is a court of law. Oh, dear me. Ever so sorry, dear. What's she even doing with the teapot in here? Honestly, John, I would never have thrown such things at you, obviously. Chernobyl super hot tea. Chernobyl? Dang. Bombs. It was an accident, if I remember correctly. I was interested in Chernobyl's incident at the time. It was when I was studying for safety. But dang, that man disregarding safety like that. If your boss disregards safety, dude, quit the job. It's not worth it. The money ain't worth it, my guy. Well, look at this then. How do you suppose that happened, Your pipe, sir. Had this thing in my hand as usual time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean. Imagine this may throw... What is this? I can't... Throw a gas tank at Mr. John. Imagine that. The thing up, he was broken in two. Like to see a sponge to the assess the weapon damage or a cannon bullet. Well, they did have a cannon. Scary stuff, man. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up. Oh, that's why. For now. Haha. You want to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? They're in love. Or a cannon bullet. It could be important, actually. Leave him mark just now would be significant. Okay, mister. What say you? The war veteran words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife and pipes, as well as hearts may be broken. Sentiment wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worth any adding to the formal testimony. Indeed, common sense, one might say. Right, one. In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Well, I don't see why not. Oh dear me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady. Very well, the court will accept the gentleman's pipe evidence. Alright, time to inspect the fucking thing. Aha! This is a piece of knife shard, bro. Oh, something's just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe there. I just saw it. Something stuck in there, I think. I want to pour gas around the courtroom and light up. What's wrong with you, Randy Awkward? Are you okay? Are you okay? I get it could be fun and funny, but are you okay? We don't usually do that, man. Let's turn over and shake it. What's this? Fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a blade or something. Blade? Surely, it couldn't be. Okay, there we go. That's all I need. I don't need to... What's auto? But I don't need to search anything else. I'm fine. Alright, good to know. Looks like the tip of a blade or something. Tip of a blade. Wrong, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't really know. What's going on here? What is this auto button? What does it do? Examine our pieces of evidence again. Because I know the connection actually. The tip there. Look here, just the tip. It's missing a piece of blade. Swallow this Malpi. Malpi? What's a Malpi? I saw that. You can't hide it from me anymore. Haha. This tiny fragment of metal I found inside. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Oh my! Perfect fit. Fear that your request was turned down. Oh no, it's fine. Son, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine. Swallow the metal knife, please. I don't want to do that. I'm not a professional. Those are only done by professionals. You know? You can't... I don't have training.
Hold it!
So just got to elaborate. Nothing to say really. It's a partial spot of carving, you see. So we both share. We like to carve little wooden trinkets too. Ah! Sorry to say, we're always losing knives about the place. We have dozens of things. Wait, ow, 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 ow! Wrong ear. Should be on the right ear. Alright. Ah man, this beanie is comfy. Now Joanne. Oh! Oosh! Oh, wait. That is out of play. Here we go again. Imagine because they don't want to believe it. They can't bear the thought that it might have been their knives were injured the victim. But still, go on with your testimony, witness. Sir. No hot tea. There was hot tea. Super hot tea, bro. So you have no intention of admitting his knife. Garrett. Even though there is no other credible possibility of missing memories, isn't it? You forget, my Nipponese friend, that it has yet to be established that the accused is not responsible for the attack. I could forget. Think of fingerprinting. What? People touch anything they leave behind in the pattern of it? Yeah. There are already countries in the world where these so-called fingerprints can be used as evidence. So Strong Heart is currently discussing the matter in the Ministry of Justice.
Yes, I believe we are rapidly approaching the era of scientific methods of investigation.
But for now... alright. Dude, I already know. Is it? Let me check the court record. What does it say? Oh, it does update. Okay, it's already updated. I can do this. Guilty, guilty, guilty. You must execute Mr. Natsume. No. I don't want to execute a man who has the high honors of creating the Japanese language simple for all of us all over the world. Mr. Cat himself. I don't want to read this because I know what to do. That last crucial piece of... I did it! I did! Okay, let's go. Well, I can.
Objection!
No, that's not it. Where should I present it then? Let me see. Come on, hurry up. I need to do something. Yeah. I get it.
Objection!
There we go. So I presented the wrong evidence. Mr. Garrett, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please? You can ask, but I can't see a bally thing. You can't? Used to call me Dead-Eyed Deb back in the regiment, of course. But that was some time ago. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days.
I struggle to tell B from a D to a P to a Q, to be honest.
Oh, he does, dearie me. It's rather worrying being asked about every other letter in every word.
You must be very dizzy. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal. Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear to at first to be just a tiny scrap is crucial to a piece of evidence. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? It was lodged in chamber of Mr. Garadeb's pipe. My pipe, you say? By yo. I wonder how that got there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? I was just thinking he was some way related to the matter of stabbing by a road. I am. What? When put together with another piece of evidence already in court, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of the case, my lord. Oh, dude, his rags! He shit himself so hard that he punched a hole. It's not because he burned his thingy or anything. Be really confident. Very well then, present the printed evidence to the court. Paired with this fragment of metal, I'll let you reveal the truth of this entire case.
Take that!
This one, of course. This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small piece at the tip of the blade that is missing. A common issue with inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals use them regularly to leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones. What sort of particular knife? No doubt the tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim. Objection. No, that's not the case. The tip of this particular knife's blade is very fragment metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garadeb's pipe. Oh! Oh! What was that? It was so dramatic, like handsome Squidward. For good grief of Van Jigs, I don't believe it. I want to check something real quick, yeah? What's that? The knife from the crime scene. This fragment of metal. A perfect match. Good golly gosh! Order! Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery? It's called evidence. This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. A miracle? So Van Zig has figured it out, hasn't he? Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once. Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garadeb's pipe? Something that was clarified for us in its most recent statement. Had this thing in my hand as usual from time of its onslaught, knocked it clean with one of her soft projectiles. She did, yes. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh no, they're scared. Oh dearie me. Oh dearie me. During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garadeb flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garadeb, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the same time, which caused the tip to break off. Of course. Good lord! Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garadeb's pipe. The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1. And there is no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe, flew out the window, open window. I'm gonna drink water for a bit. This is a dramatic ending to the gallows in love, as they say. Oh. In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garadeb's house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh gosh, oh dearie, oh! No!
Objection!
Tea and wine. A full body theory, I'll give you that. A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points plausibly deranged to create an almost passable vintage. Allow me to toast my learned friend characteristically Nipponi's approach to this bottling up argument. But after all, it's just a theory. The bottle I fear is corked. But you see, it's spoiled by an insurmountable inconsistency. Surmountable? Lord Van Cheeks, explain yourself. What is inconsistency you claim to identify? The inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with a knife planted in the middle of her back. Yes, in her.
That's right. You silly man.
Now, Joanne, old thing, what are you getting so excited about? He got slapped. Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling in the ground. If the knife that struck her had fallen from above, there's no possible way it could have planted itself into the victim's back. Gah! I do have evidence against that, Mr. Van Zeeks. Order.
Quite right, you see, that's exactly right. If the knife had fallen from above, it would have struck on the top of the head.
He's lost for words, look. I knew it. I've never liked this theory in the first place. I don't know, though. What really did happen? It appears the defense has made a rather spectacular blunder. If a theory has one consistency, it cannot stand. Your theory, my learned friend, is history. No, it was so close. I could see the truth. I was so sure I was on the right track. But now, the way has been blocked completely, but just one simple inconsistency. Or in other words,
We're simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency.
Inconsistency! And the theory will stand. Mr. Sato.
You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were just caught off guard, that's all. And your mind went blank. If the path you were on is indeed correct, then the way will present itself. The key to this court record.
Guilty!
I'm sure all the information you need to hear.
I have evidence. Seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend. Well, your silence speaks volumes. That tacit acceptance that your theory is fairly flawed. Nah, he shit himself again. Objection! I have evidence, fool. This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It means that I need to sharpen... Wait, it's a test! I think it's a test from Van Zeeks. Yes! If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way it could have been hit her on the middle of her back. Bro, Mr. Naruhodo too young for this. Huh? Why is he too young, bro? Under normal circumstances, that is... What are you implying? Oh, I thought you knew, man. Counsel? There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain inconsistency. Inconsistency! That can explain how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer. Goodness! Utter madness! Madness. This is... Yeah, whatever. Surely this must be last minute. Counsel, present the evidence which you speak. Okay. It's the last inconsistency. Inconsistency! The final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will lay bare at last. The evidence explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is...
Take that!
Take that! This, the fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. Let's fucking go! The good song! 23, too young. Is it? Well, I guess it is. But 23 is where you start working, is it not? The Bun book? It's not Mr. Kiradoop's book. Yes. And to understand its significance,
we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question. The victim's holding it in her hand.
But as we all know, it was the policeman constable that put the book in between her fingers like that. Quite so. As part of the wholesale transplanting of the crime scene of the opposite side of the road.
That's true. However, apart from his testimony, Constable Bate made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? Oh, sir, that's because that's how I found it. When I first ran out the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand, sir. He's actually pretty close to my age, actually.
In other words,
the victim already picked up the book in of her own volition. And clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound.
well, I should say so. After being attacked with the knife, I don't imagine she'd be doing much of anything.
The question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hand?
By Jingo!
It sounds like one of Wap's characters.
I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now.
Oh, dearie me!
We know that the book fell from the top floor in the Garrett household onto the pavement floor, at precisely the moment that the victim was walking past.
Yes, at exactly that moment, the young woman was walking along the street in the light fog. But all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her. The book I threw! Yes, Mrs. Garrett, what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along, suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement? Well, I really can't imagine it. But I suppose she might have reached down and picked up the book. Yes, that's exactly what the woman in fact did. She picked up the book. Oh heavens! And when the woman reached down to pick up the fallen book, what position would her back have been? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Rolly, what have you done? Indeed. Then in the very moment, while the woman was bent over picking up the book, she died. Not really, she's actually alive in the hospital right now. The next object fell in a room above, the jackknife straight in the middle of her back. And at the same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green was the defendant, Mr. Suseki Natsume.
Why, I never...
It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor, in the dark and the fog. He didn't see the knife falling off her from above.
And from the other direction, Constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and apparent attacker. So there was never a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place.
No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind this case. There we go, buddy. Case solved. I'm Detective Conan right now, bro. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. The very first time he showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered perhaps it might have been something like that.
There, old bean.
Poor Mrs. Garadeb. Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it?
Execution time. Not yet. The gallows has to warm up first, buddy.
I will take full responsibility. If I let my anger get the better of me, I threw that book, and I threw the knife as well. John dear.
It's all right, I know.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry. Truly. I'm sorry!
Die. Get the gun, mate! Dear God. He's taking a shit. Thank you. That ends the court. Thanks, Santa Claus. Oh, no need for execution then. She dies. Yep. Oh, revenge Zeeks. What news of Mrs. Garden? She's been taken to the infirmary. It would seem. It would appear today's event had left her in an especially frustrated state. That's too late for that. She's dead. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There's no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what no one could be easily have been a travel tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for consequences of their own actions. There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just had word from the hospital where the victim is treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will regain consciousness. It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we never once met her. Alright, time to pour some gas. Can you at least wait till I go out? How wonderful! Right, I don't want to be... It'll be a fried potato, but like, I don't want to be a fried potato. I want to be a hash brown. The woman is out of danger, it seems. Yes, this is good news. So, Mr. Suzuki's Natsume. Oh, he's gone. He's fine. No. Nah, I'm not letting you. I rule this courtroom. What power have you, Andy? Yes. Everyone live in the heat. I mean, I do live in the tropics. Does that mean I'm immune to heat? Wait a minute, I'm an engineer in the tropics. I'm immune to fire. You can't kill me. On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture, and have been repaid with immersion in unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. Kill Mr. Natsume. Nah. It's a canon event. You cannot do it, dude. Miguel O'Hara will appear. No. It is me who should be begging your pardon. Oh no, Mr. Natsume. That evening when a young woman was just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped the wrong conclusion again in my conclusion. What conclusion, sir? I was sure that the woman was dead. Yes, Constable Bates said the same thing, didn't he? We thought he had been killed too. I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there's a lot of evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me. Poor Suzuki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him. Do it. No, never. Yes, poor man. So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. Time to lick the storyline. No! I should have called for help, for a doctor, for the police. Never. My mods are not here. Unfortunately. Instead, I managed to create a rift of relationship trust between our two empires. And for that I am truly sorry. No, ridiculous though. One could indeed say that some sort of mischievous spirit has been at work here, I think. One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps. We were befooled by this spirit and led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord Van Geeks, and a young lawyer here from the east, that our chain has now been broken and the spirit exorcised. I heartily commend you both. Oh! Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decision regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you to present your findings to the court? Mr. Not Tume will get accused again. I don't know about that, but whatever. As the foreman of this jury, I can assure you, we've reached a fair and just conclusion. How can I be so sure? Not Tume. Wait a minute. Not Tume, is that a new character? Fuck, I've been spoiled. How could you, Andy Arkov? The gallows to you now.
I do declare the truth to be extremely cruel at times. Well, I even suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure.
What is he there? She's in front of an old bean. In the old bean. Well, she's out of action, you know. But I know what her decision would be.
This means I'll finally get out of here and start work. It's about time. I say, I told a co-worker story to tell grandchildren when I get home.
The dude omnibus is back. I know, right? Ah, shit! The omnibus is back. Ah, how could it be? Mr. Foreman, not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
I sure hope Batman isn't dead in the next chapter. Shit. That's a big spoiler right there. Very well, Mr. Soseki Natsume. I hereby pronounce you not guilty!
Hey! Yeah, baby! Oh, yeah!
That means I can sleep soon. I'm gonna grab a bite before bed. I'm hungry. I mean, I ate a lot of rice and a lot of goat tonight, though. More flames, more gas. Dang. And finally, Mr. Natsume. Oh, yes, Lord Sir. You are now free man once more. It is hoped that you will continue to further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me. Oh, yes, sir. Of course. On my life, I swear I'll never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to tears. Thank you, counsel. Court is adjourned. I'm just gonna read now. I feel very numb because I'm hungry again. It's good to eat yogurt. I'm just gonna read it silently. I'm tired, man. Locum, yeah, Renosuke. Wait, you mean me? Of course. Is there another locum here? Is there even one? Compared to the original locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, your name become rather short, hasn't it? Oh, witness a murder. Oh no. I hope it's not Batman. Joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation. So many things. We shall see. I'll be unfazed. Either way. Locum, you did it. Save me from the brink. Well, what happened to the poor woman? I'm just glad everyone can see that now. No, not that. Lovely, loyal, locum lawyer. Yes. That man has a mustache at the back. Locum, you did it. Man, what a day. A chapter has ended. We met best girl. Oh dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsume. But today, you locum lawyer gave gloom to the boot. Stood from behind a baronial bench before all those barbering British. In another case. Yes. But for this case, no. Behold, the best barrister ever born. Well, that's very flattering. Peace for you. This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount my old friends back in Japan. Anecdote? Is that what's become of all my hard work? Oh, there you are, my dear fellows. Hell yeah! I apologize for keeping you waiting, Rose. I'm too hungry. I can't do anymore. Oh. I'm really hungry at the moment. Oh. Wish the very best of luck. Just finished. What? No. Then my haste was in vain. Not that annoying detective. Yep, he's pretty annoying. Funny if you say that's me. Sherlock Holmes. Oh, happy Americans. Burn him now. Even if we burn him, his legacy will move on. We can't do it. I'll try for you though.
Glowing with a black light. It's nice in the light. Charming. This is all your fault, Alok Shams. For the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you peace of my mind. Burn him, not shit fire. Oh. Oh. Guess my chair's on fire now. Shit, damn. Can't do this anymore. How does one burn things? I feel perhaps you should do regain conscious by now. Oh. But it was unavoidable, I'm sure. You're but a human after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. I do feel very bad about how I've behaved. Well, never mind then. What is like you wanted to say to me, sir? Nothing. Priceless. Oh, I am sorry, really, but that was quite priceless. Poor Saki-san. Still, on the bright side, you made an extremely entertaining experience without paying any penny. And it would seem you were not even found guilty. There's no bright side. Whatever do you mean? More maniac laugh. You want me to maniac laugh? Okay. I guess whenever the next time he laughs then. He's not a maniac laugh though. It's more like some British type of laugh. I don't know. I haven't forgotten, you know. Yeah, he'll scare the man's scary. Guilty, you're still doomed. Oh right, he's gonna die. Dude, no! Canon event time. Even if you escape from the Reaper of the Bailey, you're still gonna die. Oh, Susato takedown. It's perfectly executed Susato takedown. Kill him. We don't have to. Something will happen anyways. How, Singer, you said Natsume is gonna be a witness in the next chapter? How are you sure about that? He's gonna die! Made something about recounting experience with your friends back in Japan. Oh, last mile kills him. He's gonna die either way, man. To my homeland soon, huh? It has already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain, huh? University library bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. Yeah. My fellow countrymen. It's very touching, Mr. Natsume. Try halfway around the world, skip terror repeats curse. That is not all. Brother Weaker said he's still alive. Oh god damn! He's here! Damn! Shall we go to Japan? Mr. or Mrs. Parkwood? Mr. Natsume will not die. Darn. I guess we can never kill him. No, sorry, what about us? Japan alongside your mustache compatriot? No, I still have to study, man. The week has not passed since we have arrived in London. Or does it feel as though we have finally found our feet? And you're accommodated in a hotel at present, are you not? That's right, but we need to find a lodging before it bankrupts us. It's true. I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before I'm exhausted. Well then, you could take my lodgings. Oh, the windowless room? But what it lacks is windows. More mixed up with floor, ceiling, and walls. That's fine, you don't have to correct it. I can always read it as Natsume. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's funny. My evil spirit. Yes, it tries to suffocate you while you sleep. It's like it's an infallible wake-up call. Well, think about it. If that's alright. You're more than welcome, attentive. Huh. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? Really? Well, a vacancy has conveniently presented itself. Though up in the attic, I might add. But sure it isn't just a storage loft. I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of price. A nice cleaning room, as you speak. Must come at once, I presume you have no luggage to speak of. Dang, what an honor to be invited to executive office. Guess I'm getting my office in the attic, eh? You look elsewhere, is out then. It's out then. And it's settled. I shall appear to welcome dinner this evening. Must come too, Mr. Natsume, I insist. I don't know what to say, but thank you, and yes. Wonderful. And I'll hurry and complete the paperwork. I'm a release. Fucking cute this lady is. Somebody's happy. She is. Look, I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm delighted. I'll meet you in London. Tell this Mr. Naruhodo to defend the vegan teacher. Never! Never defend the vegan teacher. I eat meat. In fact, you should be defending me. I did murder it. How can I murder it when it tastes so good? Hopefully by then I'll be a successful author. Oh yeah, what manga did he actually make? Seki, did he make any nut manga? I'm pretty sure he did. Because he was an author. I Am a Cat manga. Yeah, he did something. Alright. Books by Natsume Seki. To the meat teacher. Alright. What? She did? Did she? What channel? Not too bad. So this... Our new office. Our office? I rather like the sound of that. Ooh, an office. That's cool. A little closer to your dream now. Dang. So my dear fellows, you like the place? Looks pretty nice. Whoa, he looks good in that vest. He looks good without the hat, actually. Office. You see, Andy Arkwood, a guy is never picky where he sleeps or where he lives. Some guys would just have a floor, a carpet, a TV, and his game console with the controllers, and he's already a happy man. We never choose. He even has a chimney. So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel to have your own office in the capital? Exciting, actually. I can't help wonder what adventures awaits us. Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Till I discovered the dark truth about the city of London. True. It was full of wonder, opportunity, purpose, property, and mirth. The brightest of lights. So... Jack the Ripper? Is it? Maniac laugh. It's not really maniac. I think the maniac laugh would be when I did Mr. McGilded, yeah. Of course, at the time. I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Jones so casually spoke of. It wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it. Now, my dad is a prosecution lawyer, and he's seen a lot of dark shit. He never told me mom or showed me mom. Guess it's for the best. And in London. I'm gonna save for a bit.
let's go up here. Okay, but I'm not gonna save yet. Save complete. All right, that's the end of the stream. Thanks, Andy Aqua, for coming, and thanks to those who are coming. Thanks for the 8 views, everyone. I'm so happy. Goodbye and good night.